Since the beginning of modern civilization, generations of weakness and inherited only conflicts of world wars.
Seek them down the innocent growing up in vapors, and propaganda spreading in the Sunday papers. Not even Superman could have saved you in the chaos. Render judgment a place, and Babylon a gambling union like.
Oh, hey Tommy, how are you doing?
I'm doing alright, kid. It's good to see you.
It's
You've been
good
keeping
to see
yourself
you
busy?
too. Oh, I've been doing my best. Now I'm here with
You got a bum deal.
I'm here with SL Wrestling Insider. It's my new job. I was wondering if I could interview you about the going-ons of OEW.
Well, sure, I ain't got no problem with that. You know, to be honest, though, honestly, I'd much rather see you inside the ring than holding a mic in your hand.
Now I can understand that, but I'll be honest, the pay is a little bit better and it's less dangerous.
Well, I can't fault you for that, kid. Alright, so you want to know about the current situation here at OEW.
Well, I'd like to know your opinion about Evan Briggs, the move from the original arena to this arena now, and what direction you feel he's taking the company into right now.
Geez, where to begin on something like that? Well, might as well do what they suggest, start at the beginning. At the very start, Serena Correa, who was a very fine lady, who had a lot of money, but didn't necessarily have a lot of sense towards the business, wanted to start a company. It was suggested to her that she get somebody to do the day-to-day operations. Now, a name was being floated out there about this kind of whiz kid who had all these great ideas. He was a kind of a Midas, if you would. He'd touch it, and it turned to gold. It's a kid by the name of Evan Briggs. Now, Briggs is the general manager. He's running the show for Serena, so she doesn't have to be as hands-on. Things seem fine. A couple months down the road, though, the OEW board of directors find out that Briggs is doing deals in the back. He's keeping down a lot of the young talent, not even giving kids a real legitimate shot at getting any kind of name for themselves, essentially just pushing the same handful of people over and over again. So Serena bowed to pressure, you will, from that commission to bring on a second hand. I got the job, mostly because of my experience in the business, my reputation for fairness. Mostly it was just to kind of be a counterweight towards Briggs. Move again a few more months. Briggs actually ends up doing some backdoor deals that gets him fired by the board of directors. I end up having to pick up the pieces. Like a gentleman, I thought I'd say something kind of endearing and nice about the guy. Don't kick a guy when he's down if you don't have to. So I'd come out and say, well, all right, instead of this guy is a dirty, slimy piece of crap who got fired because he's crooked, I'd say, all right, no, Evan Briggs stepped out because he's having family issues. He wants to take more time with his family because, honestly, at some level, everybody can relate to that. Now, we flash forward a couple more months yet. Who happens to weasel his way back into the company? Evan Briggs. Not only does this guy weasel his ass back into the company, but he somehow manages to completely undercut Serena entirely. Bought her completely out, lock, stock, and damn barrel. Not only did he buy out the OEW, he did a complete about-face and brought us here to Archangel. Now, I'm not complaining entirely. A house is a house. But the reality is this. Serena Correa gave us some of the best efforts of her time and her money. And it should be noted at that. But Briggs felt that a quote-unquote change was necessary. So I come back on the roster during this time. I'm working. Hell, I came across you out in Ireland. So here's a young talent. I want to get you a chance to shine. So I come back to OEW. I bring you with me. We're a tag team. Everything's fine. But Briggs, the entire time since he comes back, he's flapping his lips, running his mouth about how I did something horribly vindictive to him and his family or whatever. And so the entire time, he's been acting like some kind of petulant child. And he's been going after people for no real good reason. He's been firing people left and right because he's somehow drunk off of his power. And hell, because he had some kind of beef with me, he fired you. And that pisses me off like you cannot imagine, because he took a young talent who could have had a bright future and he snuffed it out because he's got some kind of inferiority complex. I'm sorry. I'm getting myself worked up.
No, that's okay there, Tommy. I completely understand. I get where you're coming from currently and the way that he is running this company. Now, I guess my only other question is I wanted to know about your opinion. Ryan Fury had a match the other day at DCWF, his first match in the ring in almost a year and a half. I was wondering if you had seen it or your opinion on his leaving and the reasons behind it.
See, that's a tough one, because Ryan Fury and we didn't never exactly see eye to eye on issues, but then again, we were never exactly in a position to have to see eye to eye. So I never really had anything particularly against the guy, nor did I necessarily have any particular closeness to him. Suffice to say is this: he got a raw deal. A pretty damn raw deal by anybody's account. However, I'm very pleased to see that not only did he bounce back strong, but he bounced back at a very fine, established company like DCWF.
Not to necessarily interrupt you or say anything bad about the man, because I never, I made it very vocal before I was fired that I didn't like the guy, but I felt the same way. But I don't necessarily think that he bounced back strong, seeing as he did take a loss to Vince Easterwood.
It's irrelevant. Look, in this business, you win, you lose, you bleed, and you cry. All of it ultimately matters down to one significant thing. When you walk through that curtain and you step on the stage, every eye is on you, and you do it for the love of it. Not for wins and losses, not for titles, not even for prizes. But we do this because we love it. So Ryan Fury can say that he bounced back from getting an absolute shaft. He bounced back, and he got right back in the ring where he damn well belongs. And he's competing because of the love of it. This business takes so much away from us, so much, that it seems at times it's not damn worth it. Until you look in that crowd and you see a young kid's eyes, and you see the flame in his eyes as he suspends disbelief for no matter how long it takes to watch a human being fly through the air like a god. That's why we do what we do. And that's why, kid, I expect to see you back in that ring.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to make that possible for you in the future. However, that is the time that I have on the tape. Thank you for doing the interview, and I'll call you up later this week so we can go get a pint.
It's of course, kid. Look, don't take the getting fired hard look. Just keep.
So Ari, what is it like to be the hardcore champion? And why don't you give us a definition of what a hardcore champion is?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Beating a hardcore champion is no different to me than beating any other wrestler in the ring. Like beating a world champion, international champion. It makes no difference. They'll all get their asses whipped by me. And as for the second part of the question, what's a hardcore champion? Well, it's a person that knows how to use weapons. They know how to dominate with them. They know how to excel in their craft using weapons and skill.
Definitely understand that, brother, knowing my background. But, so what's next for you, man?
What's next? Well, at Triple Crown, I became the first person in the DCWF to Triple Crown. So what's next for me? I want a Grand Slam. I want to win that world title. And that was my goal since I joined. I will win that title, and I don't care who I beat to win it.
I like to hear that from a man who has no barriers, no worries. So, let me ask you a question. You catch a lot of flack for how you won the championship. I think it was great, but my opinions are farther than the norm.
Well, in a way, how I beat them, because I'm the hardcore champion, and the way I did it just blew everyone away. Some of the shit I've done in that ring, no one else would have the balls to do. And you know, maybe it is a little bit about who I beat. I mean, this is Antonia Fogarty, the same person who ran over Mike Freeman's strap with a Zamboni.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. So, let me ask this question. If you had anybody that you wanted to go up against right now in this ring behind us, who would that be?
The world champion, Drewski Hawksley, for his title. And I would win that too, if I face him. That's a fact, and I will Grand Slam. And everyone knows it.
So, Drewski, sounds like my man is coming after you, and I say he's gonna kick your ass.
You got that right. I will kick his ass. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I just have to tell you, brother, from hardcore, up-and-coming wrestler, I look at that belt, and I say one day, maybe I'll be a champion. Thank you for the interview.
No problem. I get lost.
Since the beginning of modern civilization, generations of weakness and inherited only conflicts of world wars.
Seeking out the innocent growing up in vapors, and propaganda spreading in the sun.